Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coolest Chelsea podcast. I hope you're good. Oh, man, what a massive 3 points for Chelsea Football Club. What a massive 3 points for us, guys. So, bear with me. Just give me 2 minutes. I just want to do something here. Yeah, I just want to add something on the screen. Yeah, I think I'm done now. I don't know if you guys can see me. Big up, everyone. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, TT. TT, big up, bro. I hope you're good, my bro. It's been a while. It's been a while. Been a while, TT. I'll wait for you. You said you'll join in the next 30 minutes or so. But big up, big up. Bobby, you can come in again, bro. I've just sent you the link. You can join everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Welcome to the Coolest Chelsea podcast. Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. What a match, guys. What a match. What a match. I was so nervous about this game, but we finally won this game. If you're currently watching on YouTube, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure today you subscribe, guys. Please make me to get close to 900 subscribers, guys. Please, with all your support, I think I can reach there. And big up to Ella, big up Ella. Hope you're good. I think it's the first time seeing your comment here. So if you're new, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, all good, bro. All good, bro. All good, bro. And then congratulations again uh, for having a new baby, a new Chelsea fan in the family. Yeah, thank you, bro. We appreciate you. So let me do this. I've just sent the link to several people, so I hope they join. If they do join, I'm gonna share the pictures one by one until I get it done because um since my network is not doing very well, so hard to share the screen using my PC. So yeah, hopefully. Yeah, all good, bro. All good. All good, bro. So if you're watching on YouTube, on X, have you subscribed to my YouTube channel? Please, the link of my YouTube channel is on my pinned tweet. So make sure you go there and check it out, guys. So I think I'm gonna give my thoughts about the game. If no one is joining, I'm gonna share the link for everyone that would like to join. But also, you need to be on camera so that I can approve you. But also, I just want to change the camera. So let me do this. I don't know if this will work actually. Yeah. Okay. Titi, when you're back, I hope you'll be joining me so that you can share the things on the screen for me because as I said it will be hard for me to share things on the screen because of my phone. So big up to everyone that is joined, that's watching. First of all, what a performance by every player. Every player. I know I was so hard on Nicholas Jackson during the game and the players called Palmer and Noni Madueke in the first half because I thought in the first half we should have scored more because the 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 best thing about this performance is that in the first half we had opportunities to shoot. Every time Cole Palmer when he goes in the box, he doesn't shoot. Same as Noni Madueke. So I'm glad in the second half they got their mojo and we played very well. But I was nervous after conceding that goal. To be honest, I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I was like, why? Why are you always doing this? Why are we always hating ourselves? But Moses Caicedo won us the penalty and we gave it to Cole Palmer. Oh man, I'm so happy Cole Palmer scored his goal. And then I was watching his interview about him not being unhappy and everything. Man, let me add someone. Dante, big up, bro.
Big up to Bego. Everyone in the chat who's there.
How are you?
TT, big up TT. And Ella. Yeah, good, good. Just trying to calm down after that win. Trying to get to sleep. But yeah, I won't be able to sleep for a little bit. So definitely won't be sleeping for next probably.
Okay, just hold on for me. I need to answer this call.
I'll speak with Bobby. It looks like Bobby's here. You there, Bobby? Nope, not sure. Yeah, big up TT. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, just trying to go to sleep because it's 4 a.m. here. But yeah, a little bit too excited after the win. Got to calm down and then probably hopefully in the next half an hour or hour can get some sleep. But yeah, great win. The boys really turned it on today. So yeah, looks like we need to give a guard of honor every week. It seems the way they played. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much a great team performance all around. To be honest, it wasn't just sort of one. I know Palmer, I think, got man of the match, but I think it was a very, very good all round performance. Some the defenders, the midfield, obviously, Enzo Caicedo were huge. Palmer was great. The wingers did their job on for the most part. That is Jackson was a little bit more disappointing. Probably that's the only one. Probably he didn't really have the best of games, but he still made a lot of runs and kept them very busy. So that opened up the space. So great all round performance from everyone, really, to be honest. So yeah, very happy with the win. We're just waiting for Tobago's on a call. It looks like it, so he should be coming back hopefully soon. So see, Bobby's there, but I don't think he's. I'm not sure if he's added to the chat yet. I don't think he can speak yet. If you're there, Bobby, but yeah, I can't hear you at all, so probably not. Yeah, the massive time difference. Yeah, in Australia, the time is a bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Some of these games for me. Yeah, Lavia. We know he's holds that midfield defense that is that glue and can beat the press, and his just his presence as well there, just having an extra sort of defensive, more of a real defensive midfielder type, strong, physical, like Bobby would say. Like, he's something we've missed after he got injured. So yeah, he was very good. Alavia also 100%. Neto, everyone was good. Madueke was pretty good, I think, but I think, yeah, still have my doubts on Madueke. I think he was a bit selfish again today on many occasions. I think he could have passed a lot of times. Too many touches, head down. I think he could have created a lot more, but again, he was a bit selfish in my opinion. And the goal we conceded as well. I don't know what he was doing with that goal as well. He was looking at Van Dijk. He had Van Dijk, and he just let him go right past him instead of just putting a little bit of a body on him at least to get him off balance. He just, if you watch the replay, you'll see he just sort of like, okay, I'll let him go. So yeah, he's probably didn't impress me too much today again, unfortunately. I know Bobby will say I don't like him, I hate him, but no, that's not the case.
Yeah, Dante, because thank you for holding up for me, bro. Someone
No
just called
problem.
me a video call and then I couldn't ignore it. If I ignore it, I'm in trouble.
Seems as if you
Yeah,
guys
because
are
he said you'll be on
talking
your
and
mobile for
I
this one.
can't hear you. I've been
Is
waiting
Bobby added?
patiently, but I can't hear
Yeah, Bobby
anybody.
said it. Bobby,
We can hear you, Bobby.
we can hear you.
Are you muted?
No, we can
Yeah,
hear
you're good.
you.
We can hear you.
Is
Must
there
be
Okay,
everyone in the
I'll
chat
log
can
out
hear
and
Bobby?
log back in because I can't hear anybody.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
log back
problem.
in if you need. How do
Yeah,
you? What
like
do you
I
think,
said,
Sabega? I don't know if you heard what I said. All I said, but yeah. What
no,
do you think about the game?
unfortunately, yeah, I didn't hear everything, but what I just heard now, we're talking about Noni Madueke, which I was
Yes.
saying the same thing. Noni Madueke and Cole Palmer in the first half, they had a chance to score goals. They don't shoot enough. With the opportunities to shoot, they're just selfish or do something else. So that's the issue in the first half. But overall, I'm glad we won this game. And then
Yeah.
Neriman Weka, I think he played very well, but again, like I said, he was selfish. He should have scored his goal, and he was so selfish.
Yeah, I was just finishing on him, but I said a lot of positive things, positive, and he was like the last one. Him and Jackson, probably the two that didn't really sort of, that a little bit of a negative. He played all right because he was involved a lot and he ran a lot, and
Mm.
but when it mattered, I think it was two or three occasions he should have passed the ball, but he
Can
decides
you
to
hear
put his
me?
heads down, dribble again, just shoot blindly, and
Can you
Yeah, we
yeah,
hear
can hear
me?
very,
you.
very, very selfish.
Yes.
And even on the goal, the Van Dyke goal as well, he was the one actually, trying to. He
Tobago.
was. We were in a zone.
Yes. Well,
Is
then they
Bobby
can
back?
hear Bobby.
I can hear him. Yeah,
Tobago.
Yes, we can hear you, Bobby.
yeah, we can
I
hear
don't
you,
know what
but
is.
Tobago.
I don't know what
Yes,
he's
we can
doing.
hear
I'm
you,
not sure.
Bobby. No, no, Bobby, we can hear you.
Yeah, we got you,
Someone on
but
the chat, tell Bobby that we can hear him.
Can you hear me,
Someone on the chat.
Tobago?
Yes,
yeah, type
yes,
in the chat.
yes,
Say we
yes.
can hear him, but he's not hearing us.
We
Yeah.
can hear you,
Anyway, we'll
Bobby.
wait till Bobby connects back and hopefully can hear us. But yeah, look, yeah, he just needed to put a body on Van Dyke, but he just let Van Dyke run past him. And Van Dyke, I'm not excusing the goal because someone else should still be marked, but we were in a zone, we were zonal marking. So when you're in a zone, you just got to hold your space, put a body on someone. Madueke just let him go past him, and he got a free header. So yeah, I was pretty pissed off at him for that one because luckily they didn't get back into it, and lucky they didn't score, and we finished them off. But yeah, I was very pissed off at him for that, and a few other occasions, like I said
Yeah,
earlier. But for that one as well, the goal as well, definitely.
Bobby, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
There you are.
Yes, we
I
can hear you.
was I was logged on another device, but it seemed like you didn't hear me. And that
Yeah, we got
device
you now.
where are we in the conversation, or is that brutally obvious?
We were just discussing Noni Madueke's game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't too impressed. People saying he had a pretty good game. He did have a pretty okay game, in my opinion, but I was not impressed by his overall game and just the selfishness and the breakdown in play when he needed to like pass or shoot. And also the goal with Van Dyke. He just let Van Dyke like really lazy defending. He didn't put a body on him, nothing. He was there and he just let him past him. So yeah, a bit. He was probably my negative for the game. Him and Jackson. We're just talking about the negatives, probably those two. But the rest had a great game. Everyone else had a really, really good game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about selfishness. I just think he is frustrating. He's 1 minute he does something brilliant, next minute he does something stupid and loses the ball. That's what I find really irritating.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
felt the
Yeah,
Van
he
Dijk.
had two or three times he had to pass the ball to the left to Palmer or to Neto. There were three open. Enzo on one occasion, he was free on goal. He puts his head down and decides to dribble again and not look for the
Mm,
or shoot into the defender.
yeah,
To me, that is a bit selfish because it's a pattern now. It's continuing, continuing, continuing. He's not looking. He's looking for himself first, yeah. When he should be really looking for someone else first, and then maybe doing as a winger.
yeah. I mean, the Van Dijk header. I mean, how many times do we see
Ah, yeah,
him do that to us? That was Chalobah that should have beaten him to
Chalobah as
that
well. Yeah,
goal. But Chelsea team is vertically challenged. we are very small. I was looking at the whole team all round, even the midfield when they played their, for want of a better word, second string midfield. We were not physically superior. Even in some cases, we were physically inferior. And this is the problem with Chelsea, no physicality. If you're going
Mhm.
to have defenders, you must have some height and power there to blot out things like someone like Van Dijk being given a free run and a free header. Um, but I don't want to nitpick. I think
Yep,
it's a very important result because the
massive. Yeah,
result could have easily gone the other way. Yeah, Liverpool didn't come here busting a gut, but they didn't come here to lose either. They would have preferred to win. So it's a credible victory, but the real acid test will take place next Sunday at St James's Park,
hmm
and the games after that. Is it winnable over there? It is if we are on our A game. A game. What concerns me so much about Chelsea is that we've got nothing on the bench for these level of games. We've got nothing. Liverpool bring on Slobosly
yep.
and McAllister. Okay, you could
Alistair.
argue they didn't exactly start, but
Well,
they have.
Gravenberch wasn't there either, so they have the trio of midfields. They haven't. They didn't play. Yeah, yep,
Yeah, but they have a lot of quality on the bench, and you look at Chelsea's bench, and you don't feel the confidence. Yeah, yeah. Reece James comes on. A limping Reece, a guy still coming back to full fitness. Lavia still finding full fitness. I think he played well, and each time
yeah,
he's
very well.
played, he's shown us what we've been missing. But I just know I'm just praying we hang on, manage to scrape through to the Champions League. Whatever's the case, we have a big summer ahead. We need to recruit. We need to recruit some what should I call it? Bit of a finished articles. We need those players now because what we have isn't enough. Jackson, I don't know what happened to him today. He wasn't great. I think he was looking for the perfect goal as usual. And you can't do that as a striker. You've got to sometimes take snapshots and use your half chances. And he certainly didn't do that today.
Yep.
All in all, we were worth the win.
Yeah, hundred
Um,
percent.
I've been critical, but we were worth the win. And it's so important because
It was
not
about
too
time Liverpool's luck ran out.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't like what the referee was doing. I think red cards could have been shown twice.
Yep.
We got red cards for less, but we've survived it and we live to fight another day. Very, very important 3 points. Very important.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then Titi says Lavia also Neto, pretty much everyone. Yeah, I agree with him. I think the players played very well, but the suspect today was, I would say, Nicholas Jackson because he was not himself. I don't know what is happening, but hope overall, to the next game, I think he needs to do better than this because we need all our attackers firing. Now it's win or lose. It's every game is a final, so hopefully, and Nicholas Jackson can stay focused, winners game, and also very important goal for Kolpama because today was very, 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 very good. He just liked a goal today. He was not lucky. He hit a post, but overall, I'm happy with Cole Palmer's performance. So let me read the comments and then I'll come back to you guys. I think we have reached Moneymaker's comment. Sorry, I'm gonna use my phone. Okay, it says pick up the legend, good win, but our sporting directors do need to get transfer done this summer. Guarantee European football now. Few more points guarantee Europa League still recovering. Big up, bro, big up, bro. Hopefully you're getting better. And also it says what? Let me see. Says we have the same amount of points than last season. Yeah, man, it doesn't matter. To be honest, I think the important thing, I think we need to qualify for the Champions League, and then that's the main thing. And I'm glad Newcastle dropped points today. Now we're facing them. If we beat them next week on Sunday, we have a clear chance to qualify for the Champions League because I think we're going to face Manchester United and Forest after then. So as much as we always struggle against Manchester United, this time I think we're gonna beat them, but we have to beat Nottingham Forest first. So Dante, what are your thoughts about Cole Palmer's performance?
Yeah, look, he got the man of the match, the network I was watching on. Uh, I mean, they kept talking about him like, yeah, every about every little thing. He was Palmer, 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 Palmer. The whole game. That's all I heard about Palmer. They're really ever doing it at media with Palmer. But look, he had a good game today. He had a really good game. I wouldn't go to. He had an excellent game because I think his finishing was still a bit lacking. A couple of times when he needed to shoot, he didn't shoot. When he did, he scuffed one and the other one straight at the keeper. Still a little bit there. Good signs. At least his touch was looked a little bit better. His movement looked a little bit better, but I don't know if he deserved the man of the match. I didn't see it personally, in my opinion, that way. I think there was a couple of others that probably a little bit better, in my opinion. But look, he had a really good game. He still had a good game, and it was very important to see that he still can do that. Um, the goal capped it off at the end, the penalty. Like I was hoping, is like, please go in, please score that one. We need you to get going, and just got it past Allison as well. So yeah, 100%. Good to see him back in a bit of form. This was probably his probably best game in probably 10, 12 games. I think probably since that bad run started, is probably his best game, to be honest. Even though I don't think he was still quite that good, I'm just keeping him to high standards. So that's why I'm saying he still wasn't up to his proper standards with the finishing and some of the final decision making. But the rest, the movement, linking up, taking his man on a few times, that was back, which was great to see. But I still need to see a lot of more, and hopefully that goal gets his confidence back and he starts again. Because yeah, hopefully that's the goal he needed to take get him back to where he was.
Yeah, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're watching X, you can also come to YouTube by clicking the link of my YouTube channel. And also, you can comment on X because I can see a lot of you are watching X, but you're not commenting. So, I would like to get your thoughts also about the game. What were your thoughts about Cole Palmer's performance today?
Sorry, I was unmuted. Yeah, I mean, Cole Palmer's finding his feet again. He did have a good game today. He did more right than he did wrong, that's for sure. He did lose the ball in a silly way a couple of times, but his movements, his passing, which found its mark, could have scored. I think that chance we missed where it was just his brilliance. He beat everybody, went to the byline, and took a shot that just hit the post. On a luckier day, it would have gone in. I like that he kept taking shots. I thought he had lost confidence and wasn't going to do that, but he did. And it was a well taken penalty. Goalkeeper went the right way, but a strong penalty. So he beat the goalie and a goal that he needed. Yeah, he's done well. If only Jackson could find his form as well completely, it will make things a lot better going to St James's Park next Sunday. That's a tough game. That's going to be a really interesting game, but we've got to perform like we did today, and we've got a very good chance. But Cole Palmer did well, deserved this goal for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially that one hit the post. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh man, he was so unlucky there because his skills and everything just trolled the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper went the other way and he finished. Oh man, that
I
was
really wanted
unlucky.
that. I really wanted that to go in for him. It would have been such a worthy goal for him. It really would.
The problem with that one
Exactly.
is left foot from there. You're never gonna score that ever. Like it's just not going in, curling outwards. It's just never gonna go in. So it was one of those that I looked at it. You have two men in the middle, or you go for the impossible. He went for the impossible
Yeah,
again. I think it was a bit too selfish, in my opinion. He's trying to force it, which is fine, but I think again, like Madueke today, both of them are just a little bit too selfish on occasions.
yeah. But it is called Palmer needed that goal. You can see that he really need a goal to kick up his season again. Hopefully, on Thursday he will be rested so that he can play on Sunday. On Thursday, I'll rather mix it up, but don't play Cole Palmer, like of Jackson. None. Don't play those players. But again, the job is not done yet on Thursday. As much as we're playing against a low students team, never say never in football.
No,
So
you have to
hopefully,
be very careful.
It's a
yeah,
semi-final, yeah. So it's you never say never
exactly.
exactly, and they're gonna
Never say
attack.
never. Yes, they're gonna go all attack. So Richmond Maker says, so remember, guys, Europa League will bring in more money into guys and its progress. Yes, we won Champions League. According to my source, the sporting director will bring more experience if minimum Europa League. No. We won the Europa League twice. I just want to go back to the Champions League. And we really need experience. Pochettino said the same thing. Now it's Malaysia saying the same thing. I wonder what will happen this season if we don't qualify for the Champions League. Will they ask against Madagascar because of that? I think our sporting direction, we need some leaders, but not experienced by age. We need real experienced winners who won it all in football, not just the player for the sake of he played 200 games, but without no trophy. No. We need hungry players that already won trophies and they want to win more. So let me go to the next player.
Yeah, that's not that easy to find, Tobago.
Exactly. Exactly. Look, I think at this stage in the season, there are certain things that are just not a discussion to be had. Europa League, all that nonsense. That's not for us. When the media, who don't particularly like us, talk about how Chelsea should get back to where they belong, which is the Champions League, we, the fans, should do no less. The players have done all they can at the moment, especially making up for the nonsense with Ipswich. They've got to keep it going. Newcastle, yet again, another massive game away at St James's Park. And we don't usually travel well up there, but we've got to change that. And we can change that if we focus on our game. I still don't like this, and it comes with age. There are weaknesses here and there, like the Van Dijk goal. I don't like seeing that sort of thing. That's a weakness. You don't have the physicality to head it out. And this isn't the first time he's exploited that weakness. He knows it and he keeps, exploiting it. Giving the ball away in stupid situations. There's a time Gusto won the ball at the edge of the box, penalty box, took off, beat one man. Now he should have launched it. He kept trying to dribble, and what happened? He lost the ball. These sort of silly, immature things. We've got to stop that. Um, and I also don't like, and I know at this point we're talking about recruitment and it can only be fixed with recruitment, but I still cringe at the ease with which we're pushed off the ball. It's just not nice to see. Thankfully, Lavia was there. Lavia did an excellent job for me. I thought he was really, really good. Especially in the first half, he was the reason we did so well. But we, we have got a lot of recruitment to do. Not a lot, but we've got to do some intelligent recruitment, especially if we're in the Champions League. We can't take this team into the Champions League. We've got to get some winners, some battle hardened, good players, and if they play with this lot, they will up the level for sure.
Yeah, anything to add, Dante?
Yeah, look, European football's a little bit different from Premier League. You don't need that physicality, to be honest. Look at PSG's midfield, and then there's no physicality. There's hardly any physicality there at all. They're all small players, even smaller than ours, actually. So Europe's a little bit different. I'm not too worried about Europe with the physicality and stuff. If we get there, I think we'll actually do not too bad there because the way we play, our technical play, it's more technical there. It's not as quite as physical. Yeah, Premier League is a different beast. Yeah, there's a lot more physicality and a lot, and we see that week in week out, especially against teams that low block, and it's very very different. So Europe, I'm not too worried about. We get in Europe, that's fine. But yeah, we definitely need to strengthen some key areas. Of course, striker being one. Still, I think that centre back. Still, we need someone there back there as well. Those two probably, and then the keeper. Yeah, probably the keeper as well. So probably those three key area, the spine basically. I think we're pretty good in midfield. We've got a lot of options, and we've got a couple coming in as well. So I think midfield's good, but those key areas definitely 100%. We need some proven players. A bit hard to get, like Tobago said, winners that have won it all. There's not many that have won it all, so it's a bit hard to get quite those. But
We don't,
we need to get some experience. We're talking about Guehi. He's only 24, but he's had a lot of experience
we don't need
starting for international
we don't need
England.
people that have won it
Players
all.
like that, it's going to be hard to get someone that's won it all in the peak of their career to bring them in now.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty hard to get
We
someone
don't
like that.
need that. We just need experienced and players with a winning mentality. They don't necessarily have had to
Yeah,
have won it all, which means their age doesn't have to be that advanced, but they have to be winners in mind. You look at somebody like
correct. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying him in particular, but Victor Osimhen, he's a winner. Mentally, you can see from the way he plays, the fact that he's won a Scudetto,
Yeah.
he always improves the teams he goes to. That's what we're looking for. That kind of player. Experienced, not too old, not too young. That's what I will.
25, 26 around
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
25,
That's what
26.
I would settle with. Getting someone that's won it all is as you've said, it's a tall order. It's going to be very expensive, both in purchase and in wages, and it's not really what we want.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, you can't get those players. Not now, anyway. Not at this point where we are right now. Maybe in the future, if we're up the top and you want to add, a couple that when you're up the top, at this stage in the project, I don't think we can get quite those players yet. I mean, even Victor Gyökeres, we talk about, he'll be a great striker for us. Tobago likes him. I like him. I mean, he hasn't won nothing really. He'll win probably this season. He might win with Sporting, like he'll win, but
He won
that's
last
about
season,
it.
the league.
But that's about it. Yeah. But even that's enough. I think. Yeah, we need players like that, and like Bobby said, a bit of more physical, players as well, like the striker to be more physical, to be that type of profile that can do it all, but be very physical as well. The defender, the same. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like you mentioned Victor Gyökeres. I wonder what will happen if Chelsea qualify for the Champions League, same as Manchester United, while even Arsenal want him. I wonder what will happen if, for example, those
Yeah,
three
that'll be an
clubs
interesting one.
that will be very interesting because he might go to the Manchester United because of the relationship with Ruben Amorim, but at the same time, he might look at Manchester United. They still have a lot of things to do before they get back to the reality. Arsenal, just for me, Arsenal, I think they lack a striker and maybe I would say another attacking player that they can to win a league.
They
We've
can probably give him higher wages than us. That's the key.
exactly
Yeah.
I
so.
think if it comes to that, the Chelsea project in itself, yes, the wages are a big issue, but the project in itself is not unappealing. I think a lot of players would fancy it, both young and what I'll say, players approaching their peak, because this is a team that you can form into, you can mold into, you can really be a part of. It's a sellable, competitive project, especially if it's in the Champions League as well. So we shouldn't feel anything. We can compete. And if we're in the Champions League, if, please God, we win this conference league, and if we can perform some kind of miracle and win the Club World Cup, I know that's a tall order, but that's money right there. That's big money coming in, and the club might decide, okay, where the next big project after the player project is the stadium project. So let's make this player project count. And if the player is a real marquee, it not just any old fake marquee, a real marquee that his teammates in the squad will respect and will look up to. Um, if he breaks the wage structure a little bit, I don't think it would matter. I really don't. I
But that's
mean,
the
I know.
problem, Bobby. Marquee is doesn't just break it a little bit; it will break it ridiculously a lot.
Well, it depends. I think it depends. It depends on the player. If it's somebody like
Well, Osimhen, we know what he wants. He's pretty much they said what he wants. So, are you going to give Osimhen £370,000 a week?
no, I mean that's excessive. If that's what he wants, I don't know. But if you have somebody coming in that's a marquee and you have to give them 290, maybe even 300k a week, I don't think anybody in the squad will feel slighted by it, especially if it's somebody with a
Mm.
track record. But they're hard to find, but that is attractive wages in this market. I don't think there's any Premier League club at the moment, to be honest, that's going to comfortably play 370k a week. It's not going to happen. Remember, we've got the second phase of the PSR coming in, which is the algorithm, which will bring down wages of every club because of the calculation based on the lowest income club. So there's the 70% of profits issue, and then there's that, and there's FFP. People aren't going to be spending money that crazily, even if you are in the Champions League. So I think he's asking for 370k, is pricing himself out of the Premier League. Man United are not particularly safe from PSR. They're careful. They're trying to even address their huge wage bill. I know Champions League qualification would help them, but if they don't get it by not winning the Europa League, which is looking sort of unlikely that they won't, it looks like they can win it. But if they don't, they won't be spending 370k on anybody. Trust me, a week. So it's an interesting situation. It really is. All the noises from the money bags and the accountants at Chelsea say they are confident of having money to spend. Whether it's their jiggery pokery with their accounting, as they've always done or have been doing, I would think it's a lot of that. But the Champions League incentive and the other cups that we're in will help their cause. So, I'm speaking positively. I don't think we should be too despondent because I don't think we are in such a bad way. Look at Villa. Villa, if they don't get Champions League, are going to have to sell big time. They can't sustain the wages they've loaded on themselves. Same with Newcastle. So Newcastle, their players that they're holding on to is very dependent on Champions League qualification, especially somebody like Isak. So let's see. We're competitive. We really are in the market.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, if you're watching, haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So I just want to talk about this boy, Enzo Fernandez. I know a lot of Chelsea fans don't like this boy. Even after the halftime, I saw some tweet. People, some other guy says that he doesn't care. Enzo Fernandez scored a goal. It's not good enough. He should not play at Chelsea. So
Yep,
this guy just proving people wrong every game now.
ridiculous.
This, especially this season. What are your thoughts about him, Dante?
Honestly, sorry to cut in. I really wish people like that just get out of the club. I just don't understand those. What are they? Are they fans? I don't know.
Yes,
That's
Bobby. There's fans
insane.
and there's season ticket holders as well that actually go to the games.
Oh man, I would like to know who those people. I mean, what? I don't understand some of these so-called Chelsea fans. Sometimes I don't get it. It's like they want mediocrity. They don't want good things. It's insane. Sorry to cut in.
They were
Sorry.
saying that he looks horrible. He's fat
Mm.
and had him skinny and ready, and now he's fat and he's 10 times worse than last season. I couldn't believe what I'm seeing, what I'm
Pathetic.
hearing.
It's
And these are people
it's
that
beyond astonishing.
at the game, Bobby, they're season ticket holders.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
speechless.
It's look, when you have hate for the ownership, and Enzo's the star boy of that. Basically, he's just part of it. Unfortunately, again, it goes all back to the ownership and him wearing the captain's armband. So
Mm.
it goes back to that again. Unfortunately,
Yeah, that's another thing, Dante. You mentioned the Amber. Now people are complaining that Rich James is not starting this game because of Enzo Fernandez wearing the unbelt. Sometimes, as fans, we need to be smart. Every game is different. And now it's all about winning and getting 3 points. We can see Rich James at the moment. We're still managing his fitness, and we can't risk him during this kind of game. So you have to play Lavia, Enzo, and Moses Caicedo. And those three, they complement each other very well, unfortunately. So as much as you want to see Mario Gusto or Rich James playing as a right back, at the moment, I'd rather play these three. I know we have a 70 or 80 chance of winning those games. So I don't understand our fans. And they say, oh, Enzo Maresca doesn't rate Rhys James. Come on, man. We all know Rhys James' problems at the moment. And we saw a tactical aspect from the Athletic, you name them. They said Chelsea without Remy Lavia in the midfielder. They are struggling. So Lavia complements our midfielder. That's when you can see Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez are thriving because of Lavia and Enzo's doing very well. So I don't understand why our fans are like this. We should support the players until the end. Stop doing this. Come on. I know you can criticize the players, but don't say a player doesn't do well. He needs to be on bench. Blah 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 blah. No 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 no. Go ahead, Dante. I'm so tired, bro.
yeah, I'm tired too, especially when he's been playing that well and actually contributing, running his heart out, putting in tackles. He was very good defensively today, I thought as well. Enzo, he put
Mm.
in tackles, he blocked shots. He had a complete all-round game again today. He ran his heart out. He put it all out there for the badge and for the captain's armband. He was out of breath completely when he came off. That's why Maresca took him off, because he was knackered. He was finished. So
Mm.
that type of commitment, and then you pretty much some booing him and some saying that he doesn't deserve the armband, then he shouldn't be at Chelsea and blah blah blah, and he's fat and like, my goodness, what is wrong with you people? But like I said, I know what the cause of it is, and that's the ownership, and that he's got the captain's armband over Reece James. It's a shame. It is a big shame, but change, if that's ever going to change, to be honest. And something like that, people say our players don't really. players hear stuff like that. They read stuff off media. They hear that. I know Bobby doesn't like this, but don't be surprised. Like a player like Enzo Fernandez will want to move because he's not respected as the captain or respected as a player. It can be going and it's getting worse. Something like that can happen.
Yeah,
For
hopefully. Go ahead,
me,
Bobby.
Fernandez and Moises Caicedo are the blueprint of the new Chelsea. They are this project. I can't understand how anybody who calls himself a Chelsea fan cannot get behind those boys. Moises has proved himself. Enzo has proved himself. He can't be
But
all.
that's exactly the problem, Bob. You named the face of it. He's wearing the captain's armband. That is the problem.
Well, that's a mentality that Bobby, choose your words. I'm trying to be decent here, but that is a mentality that just nauseates me to no end. It's pathetic. It's foolish. It's not supportive of the club at all. I don't know what they want in terms of ownership, but there's some people that are just not realistic. Roman Abramovich is not coming back. Neither will you ever see his kind ever again. We have an ownership that is invested in the club. This is modern football. This is the way it goes. They're not going to be all singing, all dancing, everything you want. They're not going to do that. Of course, they're going to try and make the club profitable for their business. It's normal. As long as they're also looking to make the club successful, why do you care so much? Why do you think you're so clever? If you were that clever, why aren't you one of the billionaires in the consortium? I just find these people, they're just insufferable. And, fortunately for me, I never go anywhere near those sort of spaces. I don't even interact with them on X because if I did, it'll turn very ugly very quickly.
Yeah, big up, G in the chat says, Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, Chalobah. I'm proud of them a lot. Yeah, I think they played very well. Oh my gosh, the way I needed this win, especially after the game before, or the Brentford game that we drew. We drew against Ipswich Town, and then Brentford, the Ipswich Town. After that, I just saw our fixtures. I was like, where will we get a win here? We're going to be Fulham away, Everton, Liverpool. I was like, no way. But these players are showing that, no. We're going to fight until the end. This is what I want from the players. No matter what, if we win, lose, draw, just show the fans that you want to win. And the fans will appreciate that. So, and today at least, no more booing in the Stamford Bridge. I think the early goal helped us a lot so that we won't see those negative things in the Stamford Bridge because it's annoying. The players are playing while the fans are booing us. So hopefully our fans should appreciate the players, also support them. Wow, what a performance. Let me add the next player.
Yeah, well said, Tobago. 100%. It looks like coach is in the chat gifting memberships. Big up, coach. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Hill. I appreciate it. Gifting memberships. I think, okay, Melon, I know him. Melon, Mabast,
Oh no, my boss got a membership. Oh no, you're in trouble.
and Chelsea fan, I know him. The other one, let me see. Oh, Richmond Makers got a membership. Wow. And the other one, I'm not sure. T90 shooter. I haven't seen him yet in the chat, but thank you very much, Coach Hill. I appreciate it, bro. Now talk about Trevor Chalaba. I thought Trevor Chalaba played very well today. I don't want to criticize him on the goal against Liverpool, the Van Dijk goal, but besides that, Chalaba was amazing. Chalaba was amazing. Nah, nah, nah. This
Yep.
kid is just showing us that what we missed. Even Wesley Fofana is out at the moment. At least we have a player that can fill that role. Trevor Chalaba is very, very, very good now. So, Bobby, I'm going to start with you. What do you have thought about Trevor Chalaba's performance?
To be honest, Trevor is making it very, very difficult for me to understand why anybody will contemplate him leaving Chelsea. He has to be part of the Chelsea's defensive squad. You know, I can't see a centre back set. If you want to choose the centre backs for Chelsea going forward to next season, Trevor has to be one of them. He shouldn't be top of the list to go. That's just my opinion. I mean, his performance today showed everything. And the thing about Trevor is that he plays with that Chelsea spirit. Why? Because he's an academy boy. He knows where he is. He knows what this is about, and he gives it that on the field. Is he one of the greatest centre backs in the world? No. But is he reliable? Is he good for your squad? Absolutely. Trevor can make the difference between winning and losing. And today he stood up and was counted. I can't think of. I mean, what do we want at this club? I don't. Desasi? Does he play like that? Badiashile? Even Tosin? Really? You know, he is our best centre back yet again, and he's showing it in this very very crucial running period.
Yeah, we have two carbon boys playing center backs for us. Wow. I, I, I I never thought this will happen, but big up to Trevor and Levi because Levi, even today, I think it was brilliant. But now we're focusing on Trevor. So, TT, big up, bro. How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How's it going?
Yeah, all good, bro.
Big up, TT.
Big
So,
up to
Dante, Dante, what are your thoughts about Trevor Chalava's performance? And then I'll give TT the mic.
Yeah, look, we spoke about this with Coach earlier on. Um, you know, he came back. Trevor Chalobah came back. He had a man of the match performance when he came back. First game back, he was really good. The 5 games after that, he was he's been pretty horrible. After that, the last 3 games now, he's been very good again. So we just want to see that consistency. Uh, he's done it now. I was talking to coach about that. I said I want to see some consistency because he had a really good game and then he was really bad for 5 games. He was not very good at all. Caused a lot of errors. We conceded goals because of him. Was very shaky. It looks like he's settled down now with Colwell, and hopefully this continues to the end of the season because he had another really good game today, and that's 3 in a row he's put together now. So very happy to see it. Is he going to be here into the season? Well, we'll wait. We'll have to wait and see. I know Bobby's saying he should be one of the number one to be put on the list to stay, but that's going to be up to Trevor Chalobah, to be honest, and depends who we sign as well. Because if if he wants to stay, I don't know if he'll be a starter. To be honest, I don't see him as a starter, especially if we do sign another defender. It'll be very hard for. I think Cole will still have that starting position, and probably the new guy coming in if they're going to spend some money on a proper defender, a bit more experienced. That'll probably be the other starter. Do I want Chalobah to stay? Of course, as a squad player, like you said, Bobby, he's perfect for that. Will he be happy for that? Well, that's another thing. That's we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm 3 games in a row, perfect. If he keeps going to the end of the season, it's going to make the decision much harder for people to choose for him to stay or not. But in the end, it'll be up to Chalobah because I don't see him being a starter. I still don't think he's a starter quality centre back. If we want to go Champions League and we want to go further, I don't think that's him, in my personal opinion. I just haven't seen enough from him on a consistent basis. Even at Chris, I watched so many errors. He did it at Chelsea again but he's got him every now and then. He'll put 2 or 3 games together really good, but then he'll have another 3 or 4 really bad games. So I'm still not sold on him. Let's wait to see till the end of the season, because I think he will be that starting partnership with Colwell to the end of the season now in the Premier League, that is. And we'll wait and see. But I'm still not convinced, but I'm happier seeing him. Yeah, the last games he's actually put in performance, but I still need to see a lot more from him. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, if you're watching X, the link of my channel is on my pin tweet, so you can go there, click and subscribe, and you can continue watching X. I'll appreciate that. So before I go to TT, Coach Hila says, Maresa's approach has nothing to do with the win. The players took it upon themselves. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, bro. But
It was
you
Willie
know what?
Caballero.
I don't
Simply.
I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk about this like a lot, because every time I do this, they say we're defending Enzo Maresca. So I mean, it's football, you know. We always have different opinions. But anyway, TT Bigger, bro, what are your thoughts about the game? And then we can talk about Teraba Chalaba, and I think we talk about Enzo Fernandez also, and Cole Palmer.
Okay, so I only managed to watch the second half of the game. So I don't have too much insight as to what happened in the first half. I suspect because I only saw the first half analysis and
Good.
as well as the possession stats and everything that happened in the first half. So I only know the numbers. But from watching the second half, we played more like the way that we are used to when we win. And I'll explain why. So, for instance, this entire season, especially since we like ever since we had Madagascar, anytime we play high possession football, we don't create more chances. Every time we play with more control of the game, with more possession of the game, we don't necessarily play to our strengths. And that is the Maresca way. So anytime we play the Maresca way, we play like trash, for lack of a better term. And anytime we play where we concede a lot of possession, but
Sorry,
but but
TT.
but,
I got to cut you off on
but
that
we
one. This was the Maresca way as well. This is the Maresca way as well. It's based on opposition who you're playing against. That's the difference,
You
really.
said it.
It's still the Maresca way. It's just based on every opposition who you're playing against. When you're playing against Liverpool, Newcastle, Aston Villa, they come out and attack. This is how we've played all season. Nothing's changed.
so Maresca basically prefers to have more possession of the game against opposition that he maybe I could say that I wouldn't necessarily say that he disrespects for in a sense, but literally anytime we play with more possession, it doesn't matter the opposition, we come out worse off. As a matter of fact, there are but two games, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I should go back to the data to check, but there are two games where we had the most possession this season. I think it was against Wolves, and
You're
I'm not
talking
sure
about low
against.
block teams. Yes, low block
Yeah,
teams.
and we lost both games. Like we had the most possession. We had pretty much the most, but we lost those games. We had the least xG. We basically did not play the way that we would like. That brings out the best
But
in the way
you
that we
can't play
play.
against those teams like that, TT. You should know that you cannot play against those teams. They will not let you play like that. They'll give you the ball. They'll let you have the ball. They'll sit back.
Mm.
You cannot play how we played against Liverpool against them. Otherwise, we'll sit in our half. They'll sit in their half, and the ball. No one's playing. There will be no game, basically. So
Yeah,
it's
and
go on,
also I
Tanaka.
would like to I would like to advise TT just to go to, I think it's Sky Sports YouTube channel. You can see what Enzo Maresca said about the low blocks and everything. Every game he approach differently. So yeah, I think you can watch that when you're free, and then understand that Enzo Maresca approach every game differently. But I know certain fans that doesn't accept that, because they say okay, we're playing the same way, but it's fine. If you see football that way, it's fine. No way against low blocks are going to play the way it did against Liverpool. No way. Because today we sit more compact, and we tried to hit them, and then it worked very well for us because they were playing high block, low. I mean the high line football, and we should have capitalized in the first half. Personally, just like I was saying, any Madueke, Cole Palmer should have scored in the first half. Personally, so go ahead, guys.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, TT. I just wanted to make that point because I just see a lot of people not really understanding the way that he's setting up teams and that the way he's playing. So I just needed to just let you know that. And yeah, go look at his recent interview on Sky Sports. He did a 10, 12-minute interview. He explains
Yeah,
everything.
12 minutes.
I mean, a lot of our fans don't know it. It's fine. You don't need to know it, but he explains it really clear and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And I know you said we play really bad when we still had like 20 shots on goal or 30 shots on goal and like 10 on target, 9 on target against. We just didn't capitalize on those. So we still created a lot of chances. But of course, the football's not attractive. It doesn't look like today. It's not entertaining. Today looked entertaining because we catch. It's a fast game. It was open game basically. But we sat back, gave them possession, and then we capitalized when we needed to because you can't do that against Liverpool. If we're gonna play, look what happened last season. We lost 4-1. We lost 4-1 to Liverpool when Poch played that way. So that's what he's trying to do. And sorry to cut you off, if no disrespect, but a lot of fans are coming out saying exactly what you're saying, but they're not really paying attention to what the coach is actually saying.
Yeah, it's one thing to say something. It's another to say to do something else. You know what I mean? It's trust me. I get your points where you're saying that it's basically part of the plan as to how we play or how we go against each team individually, which is vastly different. Yes, there's a different game plan for each game. It's just the frustration for me comes where even when you are adamant on playing a certain style of play, there just isn't that consistency. And yes, I would very much love to see this kind of passion, this kind of intensity when we're playing against low block teams as well as we're playing the same way as we played today against Liverpool. It's just I mean, just me watching or seeing what I've been seeing. It just hasn't been and that's the frustration that I'm getting basically is that if if we can't find ways to win with a certain identity of which you had gone and introduced, then what are we saying? Are we now saying that yes, because we have different game plans, then we have to treat other teams differently from the others? Just like the loss that we had against what was a team in the Conference League, the last game that we had gone and lost, not the one that we played this past Thursday.
Oh yeah,
By no means, by
Yep,
no
yep.
means should we have lost it at all. Yes, we missed a lot of chances, granted, but by no means should we have lost that game at all. And it's the kind of it's these kind of games that kind of make me feel as though we just don't have it yet. And I really, really love to get more consistency in terms of winning games. And it doesn't matter the opposition. Is that if we have a certain identity of how we're playing, and I see what coach was saying on the on the comments now, where he was saying that Maresca's approach had nothing to do with the win and the players took it upon themselves. That's basically the understanding that we get most of the time when we win against the style of play that we know is the identity of the Maresca way. It's just it just doesn't feel as though it was the game plan. It just feels as though we just went there.
Coach is being sarcastic, by the way, just so you know. He's being
yeah,
sarcastic. He doesn't mean that.
I mean but it's kind of the sentiment is what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
It's not just with today's game. It's with quite a lot of games that we have gone and played against Maresca with Maresca. Is that when things go well, the question isn't whether or not it was Maresca's way. It's whether you know what I mean. Because I don't know how to. first.
Yeah, but you're right about that. Yeah, you're right. But that's why we have the youngest squad in the Europe's top 5 leagues. This is the youngest squad by far. And basically Maresca said that they haven't quite got that yet. There's going to be lapses in that when you're playing against who, how you're going to play against them, when to press, when to attack. There is still lapses in that, and you got, like I said, we're the youngest team by far. So yes, I agree with that, but that's nothing to do with the coaching and the style of play. That's got to do with the players under pressure and feeling the pressure and not performing to the standards.
I mean,
And
yeah,
also, go ahead, bro.
now I was gonna say that with that said, I still think that we have um we're basically moving in the right direction in terms of how the team is set up. I think we are moving in the right direction. I don't right now. I don't really basically have an opinion as to whether or not he's the right man for the job. But as what from what it seems right now is that we're probably moving in the right direction. Not just from today's win, but even when we're not playing great, especially where we had to dig deep for the wins, is where you can see that there is some sort of effort that they're going to try and win the games, and there is a lot of positives. It's just me just watching it is quite frustrating at times. It's it kind of grinds my gears to a point where I'm like, God, if we should not have lost this game. I cannot find words to
Yeah,
explain why we lost against that Man City team when they were at their absolute worst. Why there was it just at some point for me it just got so frustrating that it's a work in progress. I still understand. I get it. I truly get it. But it's just yeah, we just not. It's like sometimes like
But
basically
but but,
throwing things on the wall and hoping something sticks.
but
And that's
also, TT, you can agree that sometimes our players are letting us down. For example, missing chances, give away cheap goals. Just like, for example, there is James mistakes against Fulham, and then they scored. And that game, they only had one shot on target, which was that goal. Those kind of moments, I think, if our players focus a lot, we should have been in a better position right now. For example, Ipswich Town clearly showed us against a low block team. How many chances did you create that game? Over 30 something chances. And
32
32
chances.
chances, and we draw 2-2. And after the game, the fans were saying this was on Enzo Maresca. I was like, no way, this was Enzo Maresca. I know sometimes I protect him a lot because I like the coach, but again, sometimes, nah, it's on the players. How many chances? 32 chances, and we drew that game. So I think what we need right now, for me personally, if our sporting directors are just looking at every game that we create a lot of chances, we just need a clinical striker and a winger that can create and score enough goals, because Sancho can create, but it's not clinical. Noni is on and off. Pedro can create, but scoring goals is not clinical. That's the issues that we're having at the moment. We don't have likes of Pedro, Mata, as was Hazard, those kind of players. We knew that time goals can come in anytime. Right now, these players are not consistent. Hopefully, they can learn and be better. And next season, we try harder. But I'm just watching the sporting directors right now. If you buy them the left, I'll lose it. I'm telling you. So let me.
Yeah, look, but what Titi did say is that he is seeing improvement though. So at least you're seeing the improvement, which at least you're seeing that. So that's good.
look.
At least there's a positive there from
My
Titi.
thing is it kind of I'm running out of reasons to justify why I continue to wear the shirt, and I love that shirt. And sometimes it's because I don't have any clean clothes and I just have to go to work, so I'm gonna put something on that is pretty much clean and
Come on, the last 3-4 weeks. What do you mean? Last month and a half, nearly 2 months. We've been winning basically and
oh
playing
yeah,
well.
for
So
sure.
except that Legia Warsaw, which was a dead tie anyway. But I mean, we've been doing pretty well, especially recently in the Premier League as well.
Yeah,
So
relatively, it's been okay.
you shouldn't be ashamed wearing the shirt ever. It
No,
doesn't
no, no.
matter
I mean,
if you lose, win, draw. You should never be ashamed to wear
I
the
was
shirt.
never really ashamed. It just got to a point where even me myself, I was getting and again, it's just basically with the frustration that I had myself, where I just couldn't see where we were going. And I mean, we went beginning of the season when we started the first 15 or 6 17 games when we were playing. We played some really great football, and it was fantastic to watch. We were scoring goals for fun. We couldn't defend to save our lives, but at the very least, we were winning games. And then all those goals dried up, and yeah, for sure, a lot of those were direct contributions of Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, with 46% of the overall goals at that time. And when they stopped scoring, we had to look at the likes of Cucurella to score goals for us. And I mean, it's not that bad to say that we depend on other players to score the goals. I mean, Cucurella is not that bad of a player. It's just when the vast majority of our
Saying, but it,
goals are
it is a
coming
long
from.
season though, and
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
And,
it
and
is
I
a long
mean,
season, and it comes back eventually, and it evens itself out a little bit over the season. As you can see now, the last few results, it's starting to even itself out. We're playing back again. We were unlucky a lot of the times, but hopefully our luck's starting to change a little bit as well, because there is luck involved in
yeah, I
a long
mean,
season, and you good of luck as well. But usually to even itself out by the end of the season. We saw that last season a little bit, and we're seeing it a little bit this season as well. So hopefully we keep winning these last few games, and if we get a points, basically another 5 points from the last games, well, that's pretty much guaranteed. It will pretty much be a guaranteed fifth spot. So we're nearly there.
Yeah,
yeah,
we are nearly there. And I think if we beat Newcastle on Sunday, man, I can start believing. But again, this is the Premier League. We still have Aston Villa waiting at the back, just checking
Yeah,
which
they
team
are.
might keep up. So it won't be easy, but hopefully the players are just checking their log like before the game. That we need to win that game. And I guess Newcastle. One thing I like about that game, Newcastle won't sit back. That means we should be aware of that. They're gonna try to head us, and we need to score an early goal, just we did against Liverpool today. Score an early goal, they're gonna come back at us, and we hit them with a counter, score the second goal, and then we can pack the bus. I don't care as long as we win the game.
yeah. I'm more concerned about our away form. We haven't been fantastic away from home, and we're playing
Yeah,
away from home against Newcastle. That's my only concern. But because of how high spirited the previous game was, just tonight's game was, potentially we might come out on top in the next game. I don't know. It's just our away form is not being so great that that's the only concern I have with going to Newcastle
Yeah.
United. But other than that,
St. James is a tough place
it
to
is.
go as well, but we did beat them early in the season, so that helps
I
a
mean, in
little
their
bit.
yeah,
last three games, they've lost,
And
they've
they
won,
will.
they've drawn, and we have won all three of our last three games. So we have the better form right now. But again,
Mhm.
we're playing away from home, and that's genuinely my only concern. But from today's game, I guess we just have to keep the momentum going with the next game on Thursday. I wouldn't want to sit back and not want to score and things like that. We should go for winning that game against Joe Garden. I think that's how you
yeah,
spell
Joe
it.
got it.
That's how you pronounce it. Joe
Yes.
Garden. I mean, should we go out there and score 2-3 goals? 100%, all good for me, because then it kind of gives the players that confidence to say that we can go and score some more against Newcastle United. But yeah, the only concern that I have here is that it's an away game, and we have to win it. Like, none of the games that we have to play, Newcastle, Manchester United, and Nottingham Forest, we have to win each and every one of those. Um, and potentially we might even make it to second. Who knows? I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. As well, I play against Liverpool next. Just imagine we win against Newcastle and Liverpool beat Arsenal. We're gonna be 1 point behind them. So anything is possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Liverpool will play their strong team next game, so they're going to be back. Their players will be back as well.
Yeah,
So
at home
Yeah, for sure.
especially.
They're
So
playing
anyway,
what? They're playing Liverpool and then Newcastle and then Southampton. So if Newcastle also makes a statement against Arsenal at the Emirates, we stand a very good chance of going above
Yeah.
Arsenal this season.
yeah,
But yeah, and
yeah.
that's provided we win
No,
the
no, no,
remainder
no,
of
no,
our.
no, no. No, no, no. I rather ask Arsenal
Don't worry about
beat
Arsenal, man.
Newcastle. I rather ask Arsenal to beat.
Exactly. Don't worry about Arsenal. Let Arsenal finish second. Don't worry about
Yes.
Arsenal.
Nah, Arsenal deserve nothing, man. They shouldn't be above us at all. I don't
So
like Arsenal.
anyway, Coachella says also Maresca hasn't improved anybody. And then we have KD. KD says win up the Chelsea score prediction 3-1. I'm so happy. Mine was
Well
2-1.
done, KD.
Yeah, we're all happy, bro. Especially getting 3 points. After watching our fixtures, I was like, where can we get a win from here? And finally, we are getting them. So I'm happy about it. So, Bobby, I'm gonna start with you. What is your thoughts about Romeo Lavia's performance? Because for me personally, I think this guy is so important the way we play. Without him, we struggled. But now, ever since he's coming back, I think we're mostly Trevor Chalaba and Levi are not getting exposed a lot. So, what are your thoughts about him, Bobby? Bobby, you still there? Oh, okay.
Bobby probably fell asleep. We talked too
Yeah.
much.
Dante, what are your thoughts about his performance?
Yeah, look, he's very important to
Yeah, I'm
exactly the way
sorry,
we
guys.
play.
I had to go
Come-
and do something.
oh, there he is. He's
Yeah.
back.
Sorry, what's the
Go on,
question for
Bobby.
me? I
Yeah, I
had to
was
go and
saying,
do something.
I said, what is your thoughts about Ramirez Lavia's performance?
Oh, Lavia is, you see, he's not even properly fit. He still can't play 90 minutes. And I was concerned and angry at Van Dijk's tackle. I thought that was a red card straight up. But fortunately, it looks like he wasn't hurt, too much. Um, Lavia is the difference maker. You see, this is what happens when you lose key players for so long in the season. You will struggle, and this is why it's so important that we do get someone like Asugo in, along with the returning Santos. And you see, we need two players in every position. We need a strong bench. What Chelsea don't need is people complaining about having quality on the bench. This is the way forward. This is the modern game. As long as you have a good level of competition for them to play in, it shouldn't be a problem. Look at Liverpool's bench. Most people we play against have quality on the bench. So Romeo Lavia, well, he still can't give us 90 minutes, but what he gives us, it's clear. It makes so much of a difference. Um, Great close control, beats the press, tackles hard. Not the tallest, but is physically strong. A sort of stocky player. He'll stand his own, and that's probably why Van Dijk tried to hurt him. I thought that was very inexcusable for a player of his maturity, and the fact that they had already won the league. That was so unnecessary. To me, the referee shouldn't have hesitated in brandishing a straight red. It was a malicious thing. He went in, yeah, the studs was down, but he went in and made sure he left his mark. It was a deliberate, well, injury threatening tackle. But yeah, Romeo Lavia, top player, top player. I hope we can have him fit at some point. It'll be fantastic to see him being able to play 90 minutes at some point, but he hasn't played 90 minutes since he joined Chelsea, which is an indictment. That's nearly 2 seasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. a fit Lavia starts every game for us. I don't know who's going to be benched, but a fit Rome Lavia starts every game for us because this kid is special. He's so special. Injuries are just hitting his career. Hopefully, he can overcome those injuries, man, because he's so good on the ball and defensively solid also. So, Dante, what are your thoughts about Lavia, bro?
Yeah, pretty much what Bobby said. Um, had a great game. Unfortunately, he's on a minutes restrictions. He was always going to come off in that 65th minute or something around there. Like I said earlier, he's probably going to play an extra 10, 15 minutes from last week, and that's exactly what happened. I think came off in close to 70th minute. So yeah, he's on a minutes restriction. That they won't risk him. They won't play more than that. He's not quite fully 100% match fit. That is, he probably can play the 90 minutes, no problem, but you got to manage him and you got to watch his his injuries. You can see from that photo he's a very muscular player. He's very strong. Like Bobby said, he's quite small but he's stocky. He's very strong. And yeah, players like that do tend to get injuries at that age as their body develops and changes. The more muscular ones, the more sort of developed players at that age, they're going through a change and they usually tend to get injuries, a few injuries. But then I don't see no problem after that. I think he'll be just fine after that. Um, very important. He's like I said, he's the glue to that midfield. It makes a big difference when you got a pressure resistant player there that's got quick acceleration and the strength on the ball. He keeps the ball close to his feet. He's a very technical player as well. So he's got that. He's not going to really lose the ball. You don't see him losing the ball hardly ever because he keeps the ball very close to his feet, and he's got that strength that he can shield the ball as well. So yeah, look, very important. We did miss him. We missed him last season as well, but especially how we started this season, and then when he went out as well, 100% missed him. Like you said, it's a bit of dilemma who starts and who misses out. Well, that would be Reece James if Caicedo plays a right back and inverts. So, but I mean, there's room that there's a lot of games you can always rotate them, no problem. But yeah, it's the team shit these last few games. I think he'll be starting every single game.
Yeah, hopefully he can stay fit until the end of the season. And big up to GFC Gavin.
Just to add to that Van Dijk tackle, Van Dijk knew exactly what he was doing in that tackle.
Mm.
It was on purpose. He looked at Lavia. He knows Lavia. Maybe there's a bit of, let's not forget, Lavia rejected Liverpool,
Yeah, and
and
Caicedo.
he knows that they were losing as well. So he's like, I'm gonna leave a bit on him, and it was done. Van Dijk's smart enough and experienced enough. He knows how to do it. You can hurt a player, but not get sent off. So he knows how to do it, and that's exactly what he did. Lifted his foot sideways. Don't get it off the floor because if you go a little bit higher, it's a straight red. You keep it on the floor, but his foot was twisted with the studs showing. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to hurt him on purpose, and that's just a bit of cockiness. And you saw that he was like, "Ah, there's nothing wrong with you," blah blah blah. He didn't even say sorry or nothing to him. So it was on purpose. But if you're good enough to do it and you know how to do it, well, then that's exactly what he did. He knew he's not going to get sent off. Liverpool don't get many red cards anyway. They look after them pretty well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
you're
That's
very
why
right. Very right. It was a
that,
spiteful tackle, you know. What can you say? But in football, what goes around comes around. It's just we don't have the
Exactly.
big tough guys. In the old days, you do that to Chelsea, and you can be sure John Terry is going to clatter you, or Branislav Ivanovic, or someone is going to clatter you, or Mikel, or we had the guys, the tough guys, to do that. So we would punish you. I remember when McQuena broke Iron Robin's toe, and boy, Carvalho, Terry, all of them, the retribution on that guy. And that was a pretty strong guy, but he was getting clattered left, right, and center from Chelsea players. This is the
If we do that today, Bobby will get red card after red card if they did
well,
what they did back then.
that's not that long ago, and there's ways you can still put the foot in. Yeah, I know you need to be careful.
It's nearly 20 years ago. It's quite a long.
Yeah,
It's not. It's quite a while ago now. Actually, it's the years have passed. Really
yeah,
moving on, but they can't do that. Chelsea can't do, especially Chelsea
yeah.
cannot do that
They'll
to the
come
refs these
after
days.
us.
If they do
Yeah,
that, what
yeah,
they did
yeah.
exactly, they'll get sent off. They'll get reported, and the next game, any tackle, anything, any little touch or anything in the referee's
It's
face,
a
and it's a red
shame.
card.
It's a shame because yet again, it's not. It's around that same era we had that. That's what led to the Battle of the Bridge. Remember that was the whole Spurs thing. They were desperate to win the league. They came at us aggressive, and we
Oh
we
yeah,
hit
yeah,
back
yeah.
from all angles. But it was, you can't play football like that anymore, which is a shame. It's a big shame. It's still a. I don't know. I need to watch my words.
Yeah, that's about when the referees started getting protected. You can't go up to
Mm.
referees. You can't gang on them. Yeah, the new rules came in, unfortunately.
You
Yeah,
sanitize
TT.
things too much, and you just take away the warrior nature of it all. The dare I say it. Ultimately, men like that. Men like that. You have to have that war in what we do. If not, you've just created a situation that leaves us getting bored. To be honest, but I hear you.
It's all about peace now, Bobby. No more wars. It's
Well,
all
it's
peace.
it's,
We
it's
need
silly.
peace.
That's all beta. Too many beta males are making policy these days. It's sad. It's that. However, there's physicality, and then there's just a dangerous play, and I think there was an element of dangerous play in what Van Dijk did. Um, you know,
And it was on purpose. I can 100% tell you that as an ex-player, that was on purpose. He lined him up from quite a while back. He took 3, 4 steps towards him that way, already prepared
yeah,
to do that. So he had him lined up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
bad.
So, TT, what are your thoughts about Romelu Lavia's performance, my bro?
I think it was fantastic, and yeah, it's kind of a shame that whenever he comes on, then Reece James comes off. But I think it's the kind of problem that we want to have. It's a good problem to have, to say that we have so many good players that it's we have to sort of negotiate who comes on for who, and hopefully we get a great performance out of this or this player or the next player or um but I think whenever Romeo Lavia has come on, even with the short spells that he's had this season, irrespective of today, he's been playing brilliantly in my opinion, and he continues to do so. He continues to play really well, and it's just his ability to hold the ball. It's his ability to progress it forward. His quick passes, his quick decision making that kind of impresses me the most about him is that you would not think he's as young as he is with the kind of football intelligence that he has and the way that he plays with so much confidence, and whenever he's on the ball he kind of owns it. And in my opinion, every time I think he's played. I think he's had maybe 1 or 2 games where he was bang average. He was not at all bad, but at the very least, he was better than most. And I think that's what he continues to bring to the team is that every time he's on, it's always he just always gives his best. And I think today was just one of those days where he just came on and he played really well. I think he just played magnificently.
Yeah. Personally, I thought him and Moses Caicedo should have got the man of the match because both of them, they were very good. Especially this boy, Moses Caicedo. No more talk about 100 million floor, blah, 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 blah. This kid is so good. Right back, central defender, central midfielder. He, he he is so good. What a player Moses Caicedo. And then they're saying Chelsea are buying players for profit. Do you think Chelsea will buy Moses Caicedo over 100 million? I mean, 100 million for profit. Are you kidding me? No way. So Dante, what are your thoughts about
112
112?
to be exact.
112 for profit. Come on. So Dante, what are your thoughts about this kid?
Yeah, we keep saying it every week. He's been the most consistent player throughout the season. He's probably been number one as the most consistent. He's hardly
Player of the
foot wrong.
season.
Uh, yeah, it's. I think it's very close. Him and Cucurella, then two. Probably Enzo is that third one in that trio, the best three players of the season. And then you probably have Palmer, probably fourth. I think just because of his bad run. Um, but yeah, I think he's probably just number one. Cucurella, because he's added also very consistent, but he's added goals and assists. Cucurella, so that might put him just a little bit in front for some people, and for some people that like the more of defensive all round game. You go for Caicedo, yeah. So yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, worth when we first signed him for that much money. Even I said he's not worth that much money. He hasn't really done anything. He's not worth that much money. We'll see in a couple of years. I said if he's worth that money. Now looking back at that, 100% he's worth that money. Uh, it's over a long period of time, so it's not really quite that much. Like signing a player for 4 years or 5 years for that much. He's spread out over 9 years or whatever it is, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, he's definitely worth it. I think the best defensive midfielder in the versatile by far. I mean, we know everybody's talking about Declan Rice, and I couldn't believe that Declan Rice got into the team of the season over Caicedo. From what we've seen, this is on FIFA and stuff like that, because he scored those 2 free kicks. Like, come on. Uh, yeah, I think he's the best defensive midfield. Probably him, Gravenberch, probably, and Rice. They're probably the top 3, but number 1 for me. And I don't think it's quite that close. I think he's a little bit ahead of both of those. So I think he's definitely been the most consistent player, and yeah, number 1 defensive midfielder, one of the best in the world, to be honest. So yeah, amazing. Bobby said it a bit earlier. Him and Enzo, they're the two, statement signings. They're the two sort of marquee signings. They're the core that's taking us forward, and they're the ones, and they're developing into leaders as well. So I've watched Caicedo do some interviews. His English is not quite as good as Enzo's yet. He's very, very shy, but the last sort of few months, he's starting to speak up a little bit more, and you can see there's a bit more confidence, and he's developing that leadership. Him and Caicedo, him and Enzo, really developing into that leadership that we need and we lack. So next season, I think they're both going to be a lot more mature and a lot more, even more leaders in the dressing room, I think. So that's going to be very important.
Yeah, I'm just showing those stats. They say Rice is better than Moses Caicedo. Even Enzo Fernandez beat Rice stats. But anyway, you're not here for talk about Rice. Hopefully PSG get the job done during the week. I'm tired of listening to Arsenal fans anyway.
Yeah, that should
So
end that debate. If PSG really destroy them, that'll end that debate, to be honest. He needs to score a hat trick in that game, maybe, Rice, and then maybe we can talk about it. But otherwise, there's no chance. He's not even in the conversation for me.
yeah, 100%. So guys,
We
if you
will
have
be
been subscribed,
there. We'll be there.
go ahead, bro. No problem.
I was saying we will be there to watch Arsenal. I, I wish for Arsenal to not win a single thing this season, and it's a miracle that they made it to the semifinals. I genuinely hope that they wouldn't, but we will be there.
Yeah,
I
we will
hope
be
for
there.
my sake it's a successful hate watch. But anyway, moving on to the other topic.
Yeah, big up, Siaka, South Africa. Greetings, gentlemen. All
Big up,
Chelsea
Siaka,
FC, big up, bro. We have
and
Siaka.
Gavin as well. Big up, Gavin.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just, man, TT, okay. I was just saying, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to YouTube channel. So, Bobby, what are your thoughts about Moses Caicedo's performance?
Moses Caicedo is a class act. And he will only get better with age. He will ripen like fine wine. I mean, the guy's already in the upper echelons of midfielders in the Premier League and probably in all of Europe. He is a coveted prize. He, Enzo Fernandez, and Cole Palmer, and indeed Jackson, to a slightly lesser extent, they are the blueprint of this project. The likes of Levi Colwell, whether we like it or not, he's there as well. But certainly, Moises Caicedo, certainly, he is Chelsea. I so want success for him, among many other things, because he's deserved it. His performances for the club is priceless, especially now for this running, he's going to be vitally important. Today he performed well. I do take heed to what Dante said. Sometimes you perform according to your opposition. Now Liverpool have no need to play low block against you. They've got so much quality, so they came out to play today. Um, but and I think that gave people like Moises Caicedo's the opportunity to show what he's about, because he really has then had work to do. Unlike when we played other teams and he's not really had work to do, certainly not defensively. And he's just had to be there to help with the press for the attack. So not really showing his full itinerary of capability. But he is a wonderful player. He really is. And yet so young. It's hard to really consider the fact that he's what, 21, 22,
23.
um, 23 now.
No, it's
He's a,
22, yeah.
okay, 22. Whatever that, 22, whether it's even 23, he's still an incredibly young player for what he's putting out. But for his struggling with the English language, he
23,
would be
sorry, yeah, 23, sorry.
he would be the one for me to be given the armband. But clearly his English isn't great, so he has to make do with it as a sort of occasional vice captain situation.
Yeah, big up to Siaka. Says I personally hope Arsenal loses against PSG. Yeah, we all hope that, bro. So, my bro, TT, what are your thoughts about Moses Caicedo performance?
The same as always. Even when he wasn't, I think it was the former stages of last season where he just was getting he was still a bit too rugged. He was a bit too raw with the way that he was playing. I still believe that he was one of the best players in the squad even at that time. Now he's way more consistent, and like you said earlier, the conversations around his price tag have now died down. They have now subsided, which would be indicative of the way that he has been playing recently. And he deserves all the plaudits, in my opinion. He's a key player right now, and he's one of the guys. He's one of the players that are undroppable at the moment. I can't imagine him being dropped in any important match for this season so far, or any other season, to be honest with you. Just based on his performances, he's been absolutely crucial for us, and the way that he just consistently performs so well with without any expectation of getting anything out of them. It's just whether or not you're playing well or we're playing bad, he's just the guy that consistently performs. And he's just so good. I love him. And big up to Bobby for giving Nicholas Jackson
I
the
knew
credit,
it.
because you know how I feel about that boy. But I still feel like he's one of those that are absolutely crucial to this project. It's just he's one of those players that I think if given the chance, he will be. I mean, he is getting the chances to do that now, and he probably will potentially continue to be like that in the future. But I think Moises is pretty much that guy that will probably put our club to the next level, and he's absolutely insane. He's a machine. The other day, I'm not sure if it was you that I was talking to about players that are coming back from international break, and given the fact that whenever he plays for it's Colombia, right? Whenever he plays,
No, no. Uh,
oh,
where
what's
is it?
Is
Not
it
Colombia.
Ecuador, yeah.
Ecuador, yeah, Ecuador.
Ecuador? Yes, Ecuador. Whenever he plays for Ecuador and he comes back into the Premier League, that's usually a 2 or 3 day difference from when he last played. And he usually plays 90 minutes. Then he comes back into the Premier League and he plays another 90 minutes and he gives it his absolute best. He gives it his all. And he's just that kind of player. He's incredibly hardworking, and he's very pivotal to to the squad. And I think yeah, he's carried our team quite a lot this season, and I think he deserves all the plaudits. I think he played fantastically well in almost every game. So today was no surprise to me because he's just that consistent this season. He's magnificent.
Do you have him as
Yeah,
player of the season, TT, or Cucurella, or who?
Easily. Yeah, I'd
Okay.
easily have Caicedo as player of the season. Yes, he might not have that the stats like your Cole Palmer. I mean, Cole Palmer has not had a great season, but still he's a top goal scorer. He's a top assister. He's all of that
Yep.
stuff.
mm,
And we have Marco Curella, who has now suddenly come. Like, I mean, his season has been great ever since the Euros, and he's been fantastic. He's been absolutely amazing. But Caicedo is that player that does all the dirty work. And when you have a player like that, and he absolutely doesn't mind giving his absolute best every single game, he gives it 110% every time he plays. He's the type of player that everybody needs. He's the backbone of that midfield. For me, he's easily the best player this season. He's easily the guy that is the absolute undroppable player right now. And I think he deserves all the plaudits. For me, that's him as player of the season. He's probably gonna Cole Palmer's probably going to get it as player of the season for Chelsea whenever the awards go out. But personally, for
tomorrow.
me, is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Um, but yeah, personally for me, Moises Caicedo takes the cup for me. He's just been magnificent.
Yeah, big up to Daniel saving Maresca Campus in with Stanley out. He says, I always backed my club no matter the manager of the Chelsea lads. Big up, bro. Big up, Daniel. And he says, big up, Coolest Charles. Big up, bro. And also, he says, let me check this. He says, what Maresca deserves a credit today. Great uh, from great from minutes 1 to 95. 100%. 100%. And then
Yeah, big up,
Siaka,
Daniel. Do you think he deserves you taking surviving Maresca out of your name there? Maybe if you change that for him.
and it says, then Siaka says, Moses and Enzo have carried Chelsea throughout this season. And I hope that Chelsea Football Club at the top 4 or 5 at the end of the season of the EPL. Yeah, we all hope that because Chelsea deserves to play in the Champions League, bro. So my last picture here, I think the last topic won't be able to talk about all the players and everything. Oh, look at this now, Dante. Before I go, it says hell no.
Hell no. Still surviving
Yeah,
Maresca.
yeah, so Maresca. So anyway, I just want to talk about the Enzo Maresca. Do you think the game plan worked for us, because I know certain fans are not happy about Enzo Maresca. Oh, they're playing boring football. I don't want to mention names on the stream, because I mention names.
Don't mention TT, please.
Yeah, there's
I'll
certain
take your
guy.
head.
I'm just gonna say there's certain guy who owns Chelseafc TV channel, and he
Oh
goes
yeah.
to talk sports and talk rubbish about our head coach. And he should be the one leading the supporters that we need to back every coach no matter what. He did the same thing with Mauricio Pochettino. So I don't understand why he doesn't do the same thing with Enzo Maresca. Anyway, let's forget about that. We have IB here says big up everyone. First top four win in such a long time, but we did it. Yeah, but again, I think as much as people are saying that, I think this was a good advantage for us, because Liverpool already won the league. This was a chance for us to take the advantage, and I'm glad we did it, because if we didn't win today, man, I was gonna be mad. But anyway, this is football, so I'm gonna start with you, Dante. What is your overall thoughts about the plan of Enzo Maresca today? Because I think personally worked very well to beat Liverpool. So, what are your thoughts about the tactics today?
Yeah, one trick pony, Maresca. Yeah. Well, it pretty much showed you today that he changes it up, and he's been doing that all season. But just people are not really paying attention or noticing for some reason. I I understand it can be boring at times, but uh, that's possession football. Unfortunately, it's a bit slower, and when a team sits back, always going to happen. You saw today, and you saw earlier in the season, even when we played at Liverpool last time as well. It was basically a very similar game where we actually deserved to beat Liverpool last time as well at Anfield. Just they were lucky. They got a couple. We didn't get our penalties. I think we hit the bar as well, and we didn't finish a couple of chances. And they got a little bit lucky with their goal, and they were very lucky on that day. And even we know, even their coach said, yeah, that was the only team that really gave us big trouble this season has been Chelsea. And well, it happened again. So yeah, look, he's not a one-trick pony. He adapts to every team against every opposition. We gave Liverpool the possession today. We sat a little bit deeper because we knew how Liverpool's going to play. They're going to play a spanty football. They're going to be open. They're going to attack, have more possession, and we gave it to them because when our strength is against teams like how Liverpool play, we usually do very well against teams like that. If you come at us, well, we've got those counter-attacking players and the wingers that sit out wide that can take advantage and run into space. Normally, Jackson is amazing in games like this. Today wasn't his day, but I think that had to do a bit with fitness. I was watching me quite closely actually, and he was running. There was so much space that he was running so much he was out of breath every single time. So I think that fitness got to him in the end, and I think that's why they took him off as well. I think he's still on a minutes restriction as well. So they took him off, and you can see he was pretty gassed most of the time because he was running. There was so much space to run in behind and around, and the way he presses, he was running a lot, and I could see he's really tired. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's going to run himself into the ground and he's not going to be as effective. And that's pretty much what happened. When he needed a touch or to be effective, he was so knackered that he wasn't up to, because his fitness is just not at that level yet, unfortunately. But he'll get it back. I think he'll be fine. We've seen that early in the season that he can do that. He puts so much, he presses so hard and he runs so much that I think he needs to sometimes pace himself a little bit smarter when he does that, because I think he goes a bit too hard sometimes. We love how he presses, but I think sometimes he goes a bit too hard. So hopefully the coaches as well that can rein him in a little bit, not to waste all his energy in that, to hold a little bit for the attacking phase as well. But Maresca, yeah, brilliant. Even Daniel there, who's got surviving Maresca in his name, gave him credit from minute 1 to 95. So yeah, he did everything right. This is how you play against Liverpool. This is how you open up Liverpool. This is the blueprint to beat Liverpool. And I mean, we've done that quite well in recent seasons, except one game last season, where they completely smashed us because we played, like Titi was saying, expansive football. We tried to play like Liverpool, and if you play like Liverpool against Liverpool, well, you're gonna get spanked, and that's what happened last season, 4-1, like when Pochettino was in charge. So this is the way you play against Liverpool, and Maresca set up the team perfectly today. And let's not forget, he made a big call. Reece James on the bench, Caicedo right back, inverting into midfield. He knows that midfield needs a bit of extra. And to be honest, I back him by that decision because I cannot see Reece James do the same job Caicedo would have done, because Reece James doesn't have yet. He hasn't got that fitness level yet, first of all. But he's not gonna, in a transition game like this, he's not going to be able to cover all that distance and get back and do that. So he's not ready for that. Yeah, that might change in the future, but right now, I think most of us would choose. I would easily choose Caicedo over Reece James in that position, in that system at the moment. So yeah, it was a big call. A lot of fans didn't like it, but it's been working, and it's worked in the last couple of games. So you got to give him credit. It's a big call to leave your captain out, and he's pretty fit now. He's played 90 minutes as well the other day, so he's fit now. But it was just a tactical call as well. So you got to give him credit. He's not a one-trick pony like people say. He changes it up. Like I said, for every game, it's a little bit different. There's tweaks at halftime. You usually see us coming out at halftime, and we're much better the second half usually as well. That's because he tweaks things, he changes things. It's subtle, some changes, you don't see them, but when you change from 2 at the back, 3 at the back, when you're in possession, you're attacking with 2 central defenders, or you have 3 central defenders. The way your wing backs work, your left back, Cucurella, the way he plays, how Moises Caicedo inverts, when he inverts, when not to. So there's there's quite a lot, and that's why he says the players quite haven't grasped everything, but he sees it coming together now slowly, that they're starting to learn when they're coming up against teams they've already played, because we've already played these teams obviously, and we're getting a little bit better with it. The players are knowing when to attack, when to sit back, and yeah, that's always going to be hard, especially with a young team. So he's working with what he can, but I think he's doing a terrific job. And if we keep going this way and we get Champions League, well, yeah, I think he's done an extraordinary job with such a young team. If you look at it, actually, it's never been done before. Such a young team to be that high up in the league, and to be, especially if he qualifies for the Champions League, that's actually quite a monumental. It's never been done in the top 5 leagues, so it's quite a monumental achievement. But unfortunately, people don't see it that way. Is he perfect? No, he's not perfect. He's still got a lot of stuff he can work on. And there's always, I've criticized him. Tavega knows I've criticized him on many occasions. But overall, I think he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, thank you, Dante. And Daniel says, I just give him credit when is deserved. Deserved, I mean. And also, Siaka says there's something about Chelsea Football Club and Italian coaches. When Italian manager coach CFC, the club is successful. Hopefully, by the end of the season, we win the Conference League and qualify in the Champions League. I think that will be a fantastic season for us. So I was about to say, coach, oh man. Bobby, what are your thoughts about the game plan today?
Well, I'm not sure we did very much differently. It's just the opposition, as I said, were not a team that would sit back and wait for us to just come onto them and be sitting waiting for a fast break. It was a more expansive team. So I think today was less about Maresca's tactics, although they did have to be there to try and neutralize Liverpool. But it was more about the players' endeavour today. I think today belongs to the players. They worked for it, they pushed themselves, and they earned it.
Okay, Bobby, IB says this guy, haha, Maraska has been upgraded to Trick Bonnie. Pony. Oh my gosh, this guy. Titi, what are your thoughts, bro, about the game plan?
I think it worked. I think it worked brilliantly. I mean, we kept Liverpool at bay. At some point, they couldn't create any chances. Um, and even though they had the most of the possession, they just couldn't be as creative as they probably would have liked. When
Yeah,
the
two
fact that
shots
they
on target.
scored
The only two shots they had on target all game.
right, so and that says a lot with the game plan for today. And I mean, with that much possession, and they still did not manage to create as much as they would have liked. Granted, maybe they didn't have um, their best players in, like your Szoboszlai and McAllister, who came in the second half. But I mean, these are the champions, and the way that we played today was admirable for me anyway. And I couldn't believe it on my way home earlier this afternoon in the first half when I saw that Enzo Maresca scored Enzo Fernandez scored in the third minute. I couldn't believe it. But because I don't remember the last time we scored the first goal in the first half in the Premier League before today. I mean, any one of you can remind me when that happened. Um,
Jackson
but
against Everton.
was that in the first half, or was that?
Yes, first half.
Yeah, it had been a while since we had scored the first goal in the first
But yeah,
half.
not too many. Not too many throughout the
Prior,
season. Yeah, not too many.
yeah, prior to Jackson's. I mean, there was a period where we did score quite a lot of goals in the first half. Like, I mean, that Brighton game is a proper example. But we had gone quite a long period without scoring in the first half, and that put a lot of pressure on us to try and do something in the second half, and to try and maybe get some points out of it. The Fulham game was basically the example that we basically put a lot of pressure on ourselves. But today today worked very well. Today was a better day. Today Cole Palmer scored after a while, and I was very much hoping that he wouldn't miss that penalty like he did the last time. But having had scored, I mean, missed one penalty out of 14, that says a lot. But his confidence was a bit shot. But the way that he even played today was just completely admirable. He was fantastic throughout the entire game. So yeah, today was a good game. I like the way that we played. I think we played with a lot of confidence, a lot of vigor, and yeah, we made it work for ourselves. And I'm hopeful that we can continue that today's form until the end of the season, so that we can come out with that Conference League and maybe finish fourth or third if possible. But I would love to see that happen.
Yeah, appreciate it. And Siaka says that's the right, Bobby. Today's game belonged to the CFC players. Credit to them. And IB says this. And by the way, Cocorella play on Salah was a masterclass that needs to be studied. First Trevor last week with masterclass. Now Cocorella masterclass. Maresca is tipping my head. Yeah, I think Cocorella was very good today. I can't lie. So
Yeah, yeah.
guys,
He's always he does that with Saka basically as well. Even Salah, pretty much every time we played him, he's always had Salah in his pocket. To be honest, Salah got a cross away and assist one or twice, but if you look at his performances against Salah and pretty much every top winger in the league, he's shut them all down, all of them.
yeah, it's been fantastic. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. It's been 2 hours talking about Chelsea Football Club. Hopefully on Thursday I'm gonna do an early stream and then try to do the watch along for the Joe Garden. I said Joe Garden or Garden of Eden. I don't care as long as we win on Thursday and go to the final. So I appreciate Dante, Bobby, TT for coming in watching. We had IB, Siaka, we had Daniel surviving Enzo Maresca. Coachella, thank you for gifting people the memberships. I appreciate it. Also, I think we had who was Ellie. Ella. Oh, I forgot her name. Oh
Yeah, I
yes,
think it's
Ella. Ella, yes, we had Ella. So guys, if you have been subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And it's a fantastic victory today. Hopefully we continue with this momentum. Just like last season. I think last season, our last 5 games in the Premier League, we won them. Hopefully this time we can do the same thing. So see you soon, guys. Up the Chelsea. Peace.
Big up, guys. Up the Chelsea.
this one.